Hi everyone, Ricky from Rev Consultants here. This is just a quick how-to video on calculating risk. So first up, why is risk important? Well, you'll find that in 90% of cases, that risk is transferred to you from a main contractor if you're a subcontractor. How do you know this? You know it by your contract. So reading and understanding the contract and understanding what risk you are carrying when you're pricing is quite important. Let's take a look at an example. So there's two ways basically that you can calculate risk within your price. The first way of building a risk pot is just by a percentage of the overall figure. This is usually between 1 to 5%, depending on how risky your project is, to build a little risk pot that you have to carry forward. Quick and easy option just to have a little bit of a risk pot there, but by far the preferred method is by calculating your risk. So that would be by basically building yourself a little risk register by thinking about what are the things that could cost you money that are your responsibility. And examples of this is labor increases, which is most of the time transferred to the subcontractor, material prices going up, two things we're seeing quite regularly in the news for materials and labor going up. Stuff like subcontractor costs might be low because something's missing, the program going over. So generating a risk register that is potentially could go wrong. Then it's by putting a figure against them of what that could cost. So what would, in the worst case scenario, what would that cost you? And by putting those figures in there, by timesing it by a likelihood, in this instance, we've got labor at 100% it's going up. We know it's going up. Same with materials. We know they're going up at the end of the year. That's going to go up. We're building a risk pot that we're carrying forward risk based on what we know is going to happen. 100% would be we know it's a certain to happen, and you would drop and not carry as much risk forward if it was less likely to happen, or you might want to carry it forward. Obviously, considering the risk on a job is much preferred to just adding a little risk pot. In this example, you can see we've got 16K here that we think we might get hit by risk, but in our risk pot at 5%, it's only at 8. So there's a little bit of a difference there. I would much prefer to go with this solution. All right, so once you've got your risk figure, this can be spread over the items in your tender, or it can be lumped into the item that it is affected. If you have a lump sum tender that you're put forward and you're carrying the risk becomes part of the price that's submitted to the client. If the risk isn't realized, this is opportunity, so it turns into profit for yourself. But more importantly, you've got it there just in case, rather than not have it and it be eating into your profit. Right, so that's how you can calculate risk. If you got any questions, hit me up. I'd be happy to try and do a video or join me on a live to answer, and we can talk about it. Anything tendering. Cheers.